In 1922, British archaeologist Howard Carter discovered King Tut's tomb, a large ancient Egyptian vault containing a boy pharaoh who had previously been shrouded in mystery. Vladimir Lenin, the leader behind the Communist Bolshevik Revolution, died in 1924 of a brain hemorrhage. The man who brought terror to so many was 54 at the time of his death. Jenny and Rosie Dolly, known as the Dolly Sisters, were famous in the 1920s for entertaining princes, kings, millionaires, and other members of the world's elite. In 1927, Charles Lindbergh made history when he flew a single-seat monoplane from New York to Paris, becoming the first person to make a non-stop solo flight across the Atlantic. 5 years after Charles Lindbergh's transatlantic flight, Amelia Earhart became the second person to make the voyage. She was also the first woman to attempt the journey, flying from Newfoundland, Canada to Londonderry in Northern Ireland. 1930 The Statue of Liberty was a gift from France to the United States to celebrate their alliance during the American Revolution. The infamous Nuremberg rallies took place on the Nazi Party rally grounds, an 11-square-kilometer, amphitheater-style property designed by chief Nazi architect Albert Speer. Between 1936 and 1939, British armed forces attempted to suppress an Arab revolt in Palestine. On August 28, 1938, the West Bank city of Jenin was attacked with explosives, leaving a quarter of the city in ruins. In 1949, the United States, along with Britain, France, Canada, Belgium, Norway, Denmark, Iceland, Italy, Luxembourg, Portugal, and the Netherlands signed the NATO Pact. In August 1960, boxing legend Muhammad Ali, known then as Cassius Clay, pummeled three-time Polish champion Zbigniew Piotrkowski at the Rome Olympic Games. After President Kennedy was shot on November 22, 1963, Vice President Lyndon B. Johnson was sworn in aboard Air Force One. In 1964, President Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act of 1964. The watershed legislation banned discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. The divisive war in Vietnam raged on in 1972. American actress and peace activist Jane Fonda called for the world's attention when she toured a Hanoi site that had been bombed by U.S. airplanes. Prince Charles, heir to the British throne, wed Diana Spencer in a lavish ceremony in 1981. An estimated 750 million people worldwide watched the televised event. On June 12, 1987, President Reagan gave a rousing speech to a crowd of 20,000 at Brandenburg Gate in Berlin. There, he uttered one of the most famous lines of his presidency: "Tear down this wall." On November 9, 1989, after 28 years, East Berlin's Communist Party announced that the citizens of East Germany could cross the border wall. In 1990, NASA completed its longtime vision to put orbiting telescope in outer space. The Hubble Space Telescope, the first major optical telescope, represented the most significant advance in astronomy since Galileo's telescope. On February 24, 1991, Boris Yeltsin became the first popularly elected president of Russia, securing 59% of the vote. After charming American voters by playing saxophone on late-night shows, Bill Clinton was elected 42nd President of the United States in November 1992. On May 10, 1994, revolutionary leader Nelson Mandela became South Africa's first black president at age 77 after a lifetime working to end racism and abolish apartheid. After Iraqi leader Saddam Hussein failed to meet the US-imposed deadline to leave the country, armed forces from the United States, Britain, and other allied nations stormed Baghdad on March 19, 2003. On January 9, 2007, Apple unveiled the iPhone, new mobile technology Time magazine dubbed the invention of the year. The first touchscreen phone featured a music player, camera, and web browser. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell icon for more.